Brock Purdy rushing back. Is he afraid to lose his job?
I bet that's an element. I don't think that's the only thing. But
does he see Trey Lance working his ass off, changing his throwing motion, releasing the ball quicker, and he's saying, you know what? Naturally, he's the more talented guy. He has the more pure talent. Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say Trey Lance has the better arm than Brock Purdy?
I mean, how are we evaluating talent? Does he have
better arm talent?
Well, right now, I would say decision-making.
Okay, but the better arm. I'm not talking about decision-making.
Well, does accuracy fall? Does short area accuracy matter for arm?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think Brock has much better right now short area accuracy.
Short area accuracy. Okay, That's one aspect of arm. Who throws a better deep ball?
Well, right now, Brock has gotten more opportunities to throw the deep ball, so I'm going to lean in Brock's direction.
Who naturally, from what you...
Well, I think Trey has a better arm in terms of strength.
Exactly. That's all I'm asking, Chesky.
Yeah, but there's so many things that go into...
Exactly. But I'm going to go down that list. Decision-making. Right now, we've seen Brock Purdy make better decisions. Although, in the playoffs, against the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks, he tried to throw some... I'm not going to say he tried to throw interceptions, but the Cowboys dropped a couple of interceptions. The Seahawks dropped a big interception in the red zone.
For sure.
Hell, they dropped a big interception on Thursday Night Football in the T-shirt and Hatton game up in Seattle. Quandre Diggs could have flipped that entire football game. So Brock Purdy has made some bad decisions. Mm-hmm. We just haven't seen a lot from Trey Lance.
I understand.
To dictate whether or not it's an incomplete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he's a bad decision maker or a good decision maker. We've had 4 games to see it. 4 games. Actually, not even 4 games. 3 games and a quarter.
Well, I agree with that. But if you're asking me what we've seen a lot more from Brock because you have more of a body of work. And so you've got more data points to point to. For example, the Tampa Bay game. The throw that he made before halftime was as good of a deep ball throw as I've ever seen a Niner make at Levi Stadium.
Better than Trey Lance?
I mean, what deep ball? I mean, the one to Debo was a really nice throw in the Texans game, but he's only played 1 game at home.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, I watched Brock play, I think, 4 games at Levi's, 5 games at Levi's.
There's some good deep balls.
And then the other area that I think Brock is a little ahead of Trey Lance right now is sensing pressure and being able to escape pressure without creating a negative play.
Right.
Not running into a sack. Now, I thought as the year went on, Brock got a little predictable with the spinning out to the left. And that he's going to have to adjust a little there. But, there's no doubt in my mind, he did a better job with a guy in his face. Boom, quick little pump fake right in the dude's face mask. And then he got out and then got rid of the ball. He did a good job at that.
How many times did we see Trey Lance running negative plays, though?
Not many.
Yeah, not many.
But we're talking about 3.5 games.
Exactly. So I think that's unfair to say that Trey...
and Brock's played 8.
Yeah, but it's unfair to say Trey runs into bad decisions. We haven't seen it enough. And from what we've seen, he hasn't run into that many bad decisions. The Arizona game, his first ever start, it was a bad decision to go in the goal line to try to truck a linebacker into safety. That's a bad decision.
Yes.
Not many. Let's go to Gene in Oakland. What's happening?
Hey, fellas. While you're on the subject, I mean, listen, arm strength's important, certainly, but, guys like Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, Jeff George, come to mind. So it takes a whole lot more than arm strength, of course. In fact, I don't know, about a year ago, I came up with something like 12 qualities to determine the quality of 12 items to determine the quality of a quarterback. I don't know if I can remember them all off the top of my head, but things like pocket presence, of course, arm strength, athleticism. There's a whole bunch of them. And if you go down the list, I mean, Brock frankly only misses to date maybe on a couple of them. He's not big and he doesn't have a strong arm. And Trey Lance, I mean, to date, is really incomplete except for, once again, having size and a strong arm. So, and then there's all this talk about, well, how does Brock get better? How does Shanahan develop him? Well, I mean, let's look at what he did. He was 8-0. He had a 107 QBR, and I think he completed about 67% of his passes. If anything, I expect him to take a little step back. Okay, so to answer the question is how can he get better?
Gene, real quick.
Something about
Gene,
left, but
Gene, real quick. Can Brock Purdy afford to take a step back this season with Sam Darnold Sam Darnold salivating got an opportunity to change his career, and Trey Lance looking for a chance to basically start his career with the 49ers. Can Brock Purdy even afford to take a step back?
Well, I guess you could say no, but you're stepping back from. Look, if he winds up with those kind of statistics for his career, he'll be the greatest quarterback of all time. So,
well, he's not that.
He'll be very successful and take a step back, a bit of a step back. Okay, I can't. You can't expect him to continue the way he did last year. It's just it's impossible.
Well, that I agree with, but so like forget Trey, because I feel like it's unfair to try to measure up
Trey Lance,
Brock, and Trey, because Trey just hasn't played enough.
And
like,
seen it.
and in one of the 3.5 games that he played, it was a monsoon in the fourth quarter,
right.
And it's so like, okay, let's go Brock versus Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Because I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo for 4 or 5 seasons, right?
Do you want to go Brock versus Sam Darnold?
No, because whatever. Because then everyone's going to say Sam didn't have coaching and blah, blah, blah.
By the
blah,
way, real quick, not a flex here, but Matt and Walnut Creek, who sat right in front of us or right next to us in Philadelphia, goes, Bonte, we're actually in the 4th row in Philadelphia. My bad.
Whatever.
I wish I was in the 40th row with the way that game played out anyway. Go.
No. I was going to say, like, okay, let's compare him to Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Like, I think size-wise, they're about the same. Brock might be a little shorter. Jimmy might be a little thicker, but they're about the same. Pocket presence, I think Brock's got him. You know, arm strength, I think Brock's got him. Decisiveness, I think Brock's got him. Release, they're about the same. You know, I'd say about the same.
Brock has a good release.
You know,
I think Jimmy has a quicker release.
Okay,
Jimmy has
fine,
a quicker release.
Fine, I'll meet you on that one. Decision making, right now I like Brock.
Brock made a lot of better, but those first 6 games for Jimmy Garoppolo, boy, we certainly love Jimmy Garoppolo's decision making.
No doubt.
That's why I'm eager to see how much better Brock gets under Kyle Shanahan, because we've got to see a quarterback take the next step with Shanahan in a 49ers uniform.
Yes.
That's what I'm eager to see.
But, like, I'm just looking at, like, what boxes that he checks, and then, you know, do your teammates respect you, right? And do they think that you're the guy? And it feels like Brock almost unanimously has those things and has those qualities. So right now I'm siding with the players. Now, can things change? They were all behind Jimmy Garoppolo at one point. And then Jimmy got hurt. And I didn't see them embracing Brock the way they did. And boy, 4 weeks later, it was like a whole totally different story. You know, if Brock doesn't emerge, Bonte, don't you think we're having a Jimmy G conversation right now?
Oh, boy.
Back with the Niners?
Oh, absolutely. It was still out there. Heck, it's still out there if he doesn't pass his physical or if he's not ready for week 1 for the Raiders. It's still there, and somebody's back in the mind, and nobody's wishing Brock failure. I want to listen, folks. If Brock's a guy, then damn it, I hope he's a guy for the next 5 years. I'm just tired of talking about this quarterback roulette. Every football season we've had under Kyle Shanahan, we've talked about the quarterback.
Was Jimmy the guy for 5 straight years?
No, we never bought into Jimmy.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
We never bought into Jimmy.
Think about when they gave him that contract.
Shanahan never bought into Jimmy.
Think about when they went in his 3rd year, even though it was like his first full season, when they went to the Super Bowl. Like, I thought he'd be the quarterback for a long time. He didn't even last as the dude, clear cut, for 5 years.
Dude, Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, gosh. Shanahan talked about Kirk Cousins during the Super Bowl week. That's how much he loved Jimmy Garoppolo. Tells you all you need to know about the love affair for was Jimmy ever the guy? No, he wasn't. That's why they flirted with Tom Brady. After his best season in the NFL, they said, Tom, coming off his worst season in the NFL, would you like to come play quarterback for the 49ers? And then they watched the tape and said, well, he's just slightly better than Jimmy. We'll stick with Jimmy. Maybe we have a problem evaluating quarterbacks because there's still a rumor out there that, hey, Shanahan really didn't love Trey. He wanted Mac Jones. Then if you love Mac Jones, you should have took Mac Jones. That's my biggest issue with
quarterback thing is so weird.
That's my biggest issue with Shanahan.
So weird.
What do you want? I've been screaming literally since 2019. If Jimmy's not your guy, then go get your guy. Go get a guy you like. And then apparently you love Trey Lance. You're drawing up plays on the iPad. Oh, man, this play's going to work so well with Trey Lance. And all of a sudden, Trey Lance is not your guy. Well, we thought he was Lamar Jackson, and he's not really Lamar Jackson. Well, we could have told you it wasn't Lamar Jackson, and we never played quarterback in the league.
I'd love to know who his favorite quarterback of all time is, because whenever you ask him about, like, what are you looking for in a quarterback, he just starts listing off, like you know those, like, Sports Illustrated articles that'd be like, the brain of Peyton Manning, the right arm of, John Elway, the legs of Michael Vick. Like, he just starts, like, listing all these things and puts together a Frankenstein. And I'm like, is there any one player that you think is complete?
Well, the whole Matt Stafford thing. Oh, he's available? Okay, I'm going to go to dinner. And then the Rams snatch it. Oh, geez, Louise, they got Matt Stafford. Oh, I kind of wanted him. What do you want?
I kind of wanted him.
What do you want?